The ego craves recognition, acknowledgement, praise, to be right, to be more, to put others down, to raise up. He says the ego doesn't want to be better. It wants to be seen as better. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast, your raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic source for all things manifestation related. I'm Roxy Lee, and for the last decade, I have been researching and developing my signature 360 method, which combines behavioral science, quantum physics, and the law of attraction to help you manifest a life beyond your wildest dreams. Visit RoxyTalks.com for more info. Now, let's get into it. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to another episode of Roxy Talks, where we discuss confidence, mindset, manifestation, and more. I'm Roxy Lee. I'm a mindset coach, and I'm here to help you banish your negative thinking and limiting beliefs so you can bring love, clarity, and joy into your life. Now, last week we spoke about setting new standards for yourself so that you can build the lifestyle and the habits and the thinking that is going to support you long term after you get your manifestation and as you live as your ideal self, because this is never ending work. This is not just about getting the thing you want and then stopping. I've tried it that way. It doesn't work. It doesn't work right. The only thing that has worked for me that has been consistently productive and rewarding has been 360 method. I do it all day, every day. It's what I teach my clients. It's what I talk about here on the podcast. It's what I talk about on Mindset Monday. Anywhere that I am helping or guiding or speaking to anybody about the choices that they're making in life or how they're thinking about what they're doing, I'm always speaking about it from an angle of the 360 method, which is my signature process. It is finally here. I'm really, really excited. I've been working on it for years, and it's everything that has helped me change my life, has helped me grow my business and become this version of me. I'm still working. And that's actually what I've learned the most about developing this process and applying it to my life, is that the work's never done. And when I feel like the work's done and stop doing it, it tanks fast. That's why I know that your default programming doesn't really go away, and you kind of always are who you are. And that if you don't maintain the volley, I always see like volleyball or like balls in the air, hitting like tennis or like ping pong. If you don't maintain the volley, well, the game's not flowing. The ball's not in the air. If the ball drops, you pick it up and you keep playing. So the most important takeaway from everything that I've experienced and learned through sharing this knowledge on the podcast and in coaching and YouTube and everywhere is that this is never ending. This is ongoing. This is lifelong stuff. We don't ever stop doing this if we're the luckiest we can be. Best case scenario, I meditate every day for the rest of my life. Best case scenario, I script every night for the rest of my life. Best case scenario, I do 360 every day for the rest of my life so that I'm always utilizing the constant and available abundant power on this planet to choose where I want to go next. That's part of the realm of Earth. It's part of being here. You get to choose where you go next, but you have to be aware and you have to be disciplined enough to make that choice when it's hard. I always talk about awareness and discipline being the cornerstones of the 360 method, and it's truly what it's about. You got to know what you're saying and doing, and you got to be willing to do something about it if it's not the right choice for where you want to go. Otherwise, you're already here. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing. It's just not what you want. So if you want to get where you want to go, you have to be consistent with the way you think your thoughts, the way you respond to the world, the way you navigate through life. You want to do it as your ideal version and not necessarily as the you you've always been, because the you you've always been has gotten you right here, which is great. But to get to the next level, you have to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. And not just push yourself outside of your comfort zone, you have to find the right comfort zone. I'm not saying be uncomfortable forever. I'm saying find where it's most comfy and then work every day to maintain that connection to the comfiest, cushiest, happiest, coziest, best case scenarioist, everything's working out for you the best wayest reality. So we're talking about breaking the programming, breaking the you think you have to be, the you've always thought you've been, the you that you thought you couldn't escape being, and choosing something else. You can literally just be who you want to be. And it's weird and it sounds obvious and also weird and dumb at the same time, but it's a concept that no one ever teaches us. So that's why I've been out here screaming from the mountaintops for years saying, hey, you can just fucking be the you want to be, right? Like you could just be it. No one's stopping you. No one's even checking. Obviously, I've been talking about 360 method a lot. RoxyTalks.com, the official program is coming soon. And if you want to sign up for updates so you can find out all of the goings on, including the free limiting beliefs masterclass that we're hosting in May, you can sign up for that at the link in the description. I'll leave a link where you can enter your email address, sign up for updates, and then get all the information about 360 as it's coming out. But in the meantime, our book club book of the now, Think Like a Monk by Shetty. This is an awesome book. This is such a good read. So good for understanding your purpose and figuring out what that is, which is exactly what we're talking about right now. So sometimes we don't know our purpose, or sometimes you've always thought your purpose was one thing and then you really come to terms with the fact that you're not as passionate about that thing as you thought you were. Or maybe you've never felt that kind of passion, or you feel it for a bunch of different things and you don't know how to nail it down. I understand. I'm an artist. I'm a Renaissance woman. I'm a jack of all trades. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm sure my business coach has torn many a hair out having to deal with me constantly trying to nail down what it is that I am and do, but it's almost undefinable. So this book has helped me really come to terms with that. And part of becoming who you are is knowing who that person is. And not just knowing who that person is, but like you have to understand what actually makes you happy, what actually brings you passion, what actually drives you, not the thing that you thought it's always been. Because I kind of fell victim to that too. I thought it was one thing, and then now I'm discovering as I'm at the tail end of my 30s that maybe it's something else. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's all things. I don't really even know yet. So this book is helping me pinpoint that, and I'm really going down the road of figuring out what is it I'm actually passionate about, and what do I really want out of life? Do I want this thing because I want the status of it, or I want the label of it, or I want it because it seems cool, or because someone else has it, or do I want it because it's actually the thing that's going to drive me and make me want to get up every morning and live life another day? So when you can find that thing, when you can nail down and chisel away all of the extra fluff, you get to the heart of your authenticity. You get to the heart of who you really are, what drives you, what is your passion, what fulfills you, so that you can just easily turn your focus in that direction, like we were talking about in last week's episode, and just work towards being that version of yourself. And that conversation is what really made me get excited about this book, and why I want to share it with you is because in this book, Shetty breaks down this idea of what truly drives you and what your ego says or thinks drives you. And that's what I think a lot of us might be under the spell of, is the idea of what our ego wants, or what our ego is telling us, or what this programming is telling us or has always told us, versus what we actually want inside. And most of us have never had the opportunity, or even those of us who have, no shade on me, haven't really dug deep enough to understand that there's more beneath there. So I love this book. Let's read some excerpts out of here so we can talk about what's blocking us ego-wise and how to move forward with that. Okay, so this is on page 175. He says, the ego craves recognition, acknowledgement, praise, to be right, to be more, to put others down, to raise up. He says, the ego doesn't want to be better. It wants to be seen as better. And I even put little stars next to that because I was like, whoa. Do I actually want to be better, or do I want to be seen as better? This like blew my mind apart the last few weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is really making me think about the things I'm doing, what I'm really passionate about. Do I want this thing because I want to be seen as someone who has it, or do I want this thing because I want to be the person who puts in the hours to do that thing. This is another thing I learned from this book, thinking about like Beyonce, right? Do I want to be like Beyonce because I want the accolades and the crown and the status and the awe and the power and the beauty and all of the talent, right? Do I want it because of that? Or do I want it because I want to spend 60 hours a week in the studio and, working on one routine for months and actually doing the work of being the best? Like Michael Jordan, the reason why he's good, because he would do like 1,000 free throws a day before he would eat lunch. Every single day of his life. That's why he was so good. He set incredible standards for himself, like we talked about last week, and it paid off. Same with Beyonce or anybody like that is incredible at what they do. It's because they put in the hours. It's because nothing is more important than that thing. On page 196, he says, overcoming your ego is a practice and not an accomplishment. And that also ties back into what we talked about last week. Like, this is not a means to an end. This is not something that you do and reach a finish line at one day and you're like, oh, cool, I'm fixed now. My ego's out of the way and I'm just doing me and everything's great. This is daily work. This is every single day I'm working to make sure I'm listening to my heart and love and source and God or whatever it is for you that's out there, that's connecting with you, that's talking to you. It's choosing to listen to that and not listen to that voice that's always been there nagging at you and talking shit and saying a bunch of dumb bullshit. Or even the voice that makes you feel like you don't know, or you're not good enough, or you're not going to be good enough, or it'd be harder to try than just to stay where you're at, blah, 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 all the other nonsense. You can follow what you're truly passionate about 100%, but it starts with knowing what that is. This book 100% will help you get there. Think Like a Monk by Shetty. RoxyTalks.com/forum. We have a book club chat going on, so you can go on the website right now and go talk to other people who are reading the book. Leave your impression of this book and what you've learned about it, and share with others, because I really like this one. It's really good. It really helps me get clear, like I said, and I've just cracked open what was previously unknown before reading this book, and I haven't even begun to dive through all of it or sift through all of it. So I know that this book is going to be something that I appreciate and refer to a lot in my life, because it has given me an aha moment that I don't think I'm going to forget, as far as really understanding what drives me and what do I really want. Another cool thing about this book, page 205, an entire chapter on gratitude. And that goes in line with the homework that we've been giving out on Mindset Monday lately. If you haven't joined our Mindset Monday chats, we go live every Monday afternoon PST, and we chat about manifestation. I answer your questions, and we just kind of get together and have fun. It's a great community. You can also join up and talk to your fellow community members at roxytalks.com/forum or in my Facebook group, Black Moon Society. And don't forget, the official 360 method is coming. It's going to help you implement this person that you discover in this book, Think Like a Monk by Shetty, our book club of the Now book. 360 method is going to help you implement and become that person. If you want to find out more about the 360 method and the free limiting beliefs masterclass coming up in May, there's a link in the description of this episode where you can sign up for information about the 360 method, so you can start becoming your most ideal version and living your most ideal life. And as always, I'm available for one-on-one coaching if you'd like to speak with me directly about your situation. RoxyTalks.com. You can also sign up for workshops and courses if you'd like to get started right away. And there's great meditations, affirmations, and all kinds of fun stuff to help you manifest your ideal reality. It's all at RoxyTalks.com. We're making manifestation easy to understand. I so appreciate you being here and listening and watching and joining in. You deserve every amazing thing that you want coming down the line for you. I know it's happening. Say it is, affirm it, believe it, receive it. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. Please be good to yourselves. I'll see you next week.